Thank you for inviting me, and hello to everybody. I'll take you on a trip with Norwegian, and fasten your seatbelts because it's going to be a lot of turbulence, I can assure you. Because I'm running a low-cost operation and doing all the crazy things that we have done, it doesn't go without turbulence. I stick to Darwin, and remember, it's not the strongest and not the most intelligent that survives, but it's those who are most adaptable to changes. That's exactly how it is in business as well. Well, why do we do innovation and why do we do a disruption? Survival of the fittest. Simple as that. Norwegian today started out, tell you a little bit later, we started today, we are the 6th biggest low-cost airline, flying 450, close to 500 routes actually today, and carry 30 million passengers, and that's okay after 14 years of life, but that's where we definitely should be as well. But if you go along with me down the memory line, we started out as a functional because we had to start all over again because we lost the only contract we had, so we closed down a commuter company, started all over again in 2002 with 4 routes. We tried to be invisible in Norway, but our biggest competitor, SAS, absolutely tried to kill us from day one. So we couldn't be invisible. So we learned one thing very fast. Everybody anticipated we'd only live for 30 days, so we had to do something different. I remember when we started out, of course we didn't have all that money. We had to start with old aircraft. The 4 aircraft we had wasn't actually ancient, but they were not the most modern one. Oil price was $25, and after 5 years it was $75. The oil price had tripled. And I told my CFO, Frode Foss, that, Frode, if it goes another $50, we will bankrupt, so we will have to buy new aircraft. And Frode said, Bjørn, that's okay, but we can't afford it, we will go bankrupt. And then I told Frode, do you want to go bankrupt with old aircraft or new aircraft? Why do we do transatlantic? If you stop and think, 30,000 people are moved from poverty into middle class every day. That means 10 million a year. And if you go 5 years down the road, it will as many people have moved from poverty into middle class, like every people that lives in UK or in Germany. So there is a huge market out there growing steadily. So, and what are they going to do? Obviously, they're going to travel when they have enough money. So it's about GDP in each country. And think about the migration. How will the migration affect people out traveling? Well, you can see today, 82% of everybody out traveling are either tourists or visiting friends and relatives. And that's the growing market. In the future, it will be 90%. We businessmen, we are not a dying breed, but we are not the one that's growing. That's the retired people and the people going on to vacations. So, and where do they want to go? They want to go to Paris, they want to go to Rome, to Barcelona, or to London. Some get astray and end up in Oslo. So, where do you want to fly? If you are thinking about making affordable fares for on long haul. Obviously, you want to fly to the attractive destinations, but then you can't stay into an alliance because then you are not allowed to fly south of Copenhagen. So be on your own, go for yourself, and go for to create low fares for everybody. And it's like transatlantic. Is it a different market than what you do here in Europe on short haul? No, you fly a little bit longer, but that's the only difference. Of course, they try to stop us. As SAS tried to stop us, they tried to stop us because we give affordable fares for everybody. And that's a no-no. Everybody shouldn't have the possibility to fly. But think about it, what's coming into the market now? Coming into the market, that's the MAX as an example that we will be the launch customer of in 2017. What can the MAX do? The MAX can, for a very low price, a low cost, fly across Atlantic as on a 737. What does that mean? That means that when a passenger lives in Aalborg, we fly him directly to New York. We cannot fly them into these expensive airports as we utilize our Dreamliners like the JFK or the New York. We have to fly them into the secondary airports. That's instead of 45 minutes, it's 1 hour and 15 minutes north of New York. But Jesus Christ, with the immigration queues you have in JFK, you are down to your second gin and tonic when your companion is coming through JFK. So that's actually no hassle. So, but what will happen now in the future? What will happen? You can see it. You will shortcut all the hubs. Because from every small cities along the Atlantic coast, from Trondheim, Bergen, Aalborg, Edinburgh, all these cities all the way down into Bordeaux, Spain, you can fly directly into these low-cost airports in north of New York. And then it won't cost you $150, it will cost you closer to $50. You will create a total new market. But what will you do? Disrupt. You will disrupt all the old hubs. That is disruption, but is it good for anything? It's good for the consumer, and that's what we should aim for.
I stumbled over this commercial, which was just the day after a very famous Hollywood couple split up. Brad is single, girls, so you can go to Los Angeles one way, here it is. And I found this hilarious, I have to say. I'm just thinking this is an example of to dare a little bit more, because some also found it offensive, because here you are making money out of a misery of a famous couple. So how do you kind of balance between risk and reward when it comes to this to, getting the attention of the big audience out there?
Well, if you don't risk anything, you never get any reward. So that's one basic thing. And but this is they divorce every second day. So this is nothing new, I guess. so of course, yeah, I thought it was just fun.
Yeah. So you have to be a little bit cheeky. They have to dare to be a little bit cheeky.
Yeah, you have to dare.
Yeah. We have a question coming up. As you know, you can still ask questions. And I would like to ask you this, Bjørn. It says, when will the airline companies adopt aircraft sharing? My own, your own fleet? That's a good question in these Airbnb days and so on.
Good question, but everybody else has such old aircraft that I won't use it.
All right, good point.
I can't afford to use it.
I'd like just to go back. You mentioned that the ordeal you're having right now with the authorities in the US about your company, NIA. And we're just wondering, you faced a lot of, let's say, haggle from labor unions over there, but also, of course, from your competitors. This has been stuck for quite a while. We have an American election coming up. These two guys, girl and guy, is struggling to win the presidency. What kind of difference will it make in regards of your future plans? Who gets elected?
Well, first of all, we are the only European airlines with a lot of employees in the States. We have 500 people employed there by the end of this year. 500 people. So why should they try to stop us? Why should they try to stop us creating thousands of jobs in restaurants, in hotels, etc.? The travel industry, they adore us. So because we create all these jobs and fill up their hotels. So they might be crazy, but not that crazy.
But as you mentioned yourself, you have ruffled feathers, because they fear that you won't not only disrupt, you'll kind of steal away American jobs, but also here in Europe. Because as you said yourself, you can actually also disrupt in the domestical part of airline. Have they reason to be afraid?
Well, we disrupt ourselves. because the passenger from Aalborg that we fly today into Copenhagen to fly them into Los Angeles or into New York rather, they will fly directly in the future. So we disrupt ourselves as well. But what's good for the consumer is always good for the industry. What's always good for the world. How to think about the consumer, not about some old ancient airlines that should have gone bankrupt years ago.